Tadadarsha nodgataranan pratyaditsur ivoditaha sasada syanugorainya indriyeshu gunan iva. Translation. Seeing the four Kumaras, Prithu Maharaj was greatly anxious to receive them. Therefore the king, with all his officers, very hastily got up so anxiously that he is compared herewith to a conditioned soul whose senses are immediately attracted by the modes of material nature. Purport. In Bhagavad Gita it is said, Prakrite kriyamanani gunai karmani sarvashaha ahankara vimudatma kartaham iti manyate. Bhagavad Gita 3:27. Every conditioned soul is influenced by a particular mixture of the modes of material nature. As such, the conditioned soul is attracted to certain types of activity which he is forced to perform because he is completely under the influence of material nature. Here, Prithu Maharaj is compared to such a conditioned soul, not because he was a conditioned soul, but because he was so anxious to receive the Kumaras that it was as if without them he would have lost his life. The conditioned soul is attracted by the objects of sense gratification. His eyes are attracted to see beautiful things. His ears are attracted to hear nice music. His nose is attracted to enjoy the aroma of a nice flower. And his tongue is attracted to taste nice food. Similarly, all his other senses, his hands, his legs, his belly, his genitals, his mind, etc., are so susceptible to the attraction of the objects of enjoyment that he cannot restrain himself. Prithu Maharaj, in the same way, could not restrain himself from receiving the four Kumaras, who were bright by dint of their spiritual progress. And thus, not only he himself, but also his officers and associates all received the four Kumaras. It is said, birds of a feather flock together. In this world, everyone is attracted by a person of the same category. A drunkard is attracted to persons also drunkards. Similarly, a saintly person is attracted by other saintly persons. Prithu Maharaj was in the topmost position of spiritual advancement, and as such, he was attracted by the Kumaras who were of the same category. It is said, therefore, that the man is known by his company. Taddarsha nodgatat pranan pratyaditsur iboditaha sasada syanugo vainya indriyesho gunaniva. Seeing the four Kumaras, Prithu Maharaj was greatly anxious to receive them. Therefore the king, with all his officers, very hastily got up so anxiously that he is compared herewith to a conditioned soul whose senses are immediately attracted by the modes of material nature. I have to see if I'm still in the Zoom or something. Because I see on the recording, when I move my head like this, then it's not very good sound. I see it if I speak like this. So I will try to speak straight, but you can put it a little louder. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Okay. So this is very relevant for us. I mean, every verse is relevant for us, but this is obviously relevant for us. Because it speaks about being attracted being attracted by something. Here, Prithu Maharaj is attracted by Kumaras, and it says, hastily he got up. So we are also attracted. We are attracted in a different way by the objects of sense gratification, which are described here. Different objects. We have Shabda, sound, Sparsha, touch, Gandha, smell, Rasa, taste, and Rupa, form. So these are 5 objects of sense gratification. And as for example, if you go to the restaurant and you sit in the restaurant, and then attractive woman comes in, then immediately everybody looks. Everybody is attracted. Or sometimes somebody gets up and wants to do something for her or whatever. Or when there is a feast, then everybody's mind is focused on the food or on the prasad. So we are attracted by, of course this is a different type of attraction if it's prasad. So any of the 5 senses may be agitated, and then one becomes attracted like the iron is attracted by the magnet. It's magnetic attraction. So it says here, hastily he got up. Hastily Prithu Maharaj got up. Hastily means like fast, in a hurry. So when he saw them, he immediately got up and to receive them. So this is it's wonderful that Bhagavatam is explaining the moment of truth for all of us, the moment when we are attracted. And sometimes when we speak to devotees, last few days I was speaking about deep conversations. And so sometimes when I speak to devotees, I say, so what is your heart attracted to? What is your heart attracted to? Spontaneously. What is your heart attracted to spontaneously? So you can say, my heart is attracted spontaneously to rock and roll. Or maybe for you rock and roll is outdated. Maybe your heart is attracted to rap or hip hop or, I don't know, trance, all kinds of music styles. When you hear it, you get goosebumps. You get really like excited. Even one Maharaj, he's called Maharaj. I'm not sure at that time he was Maharaj, but maybe he was. Of course, I will not mention his name. But he told me, when he hears the hum, you know hum? Yeah? Hum of the stadium, like when there is a football match, you have this like people going crazy. Or maybe in the rock concert in the stadium, you hear the same hum. He said he gets goosebumps still, because before he used to be attracted. So get so like the ears and the mind become so excited by this hum, because what this hum means is actually excitement. Excitement. There will be something exciting, some exciting sound, or some exciting thing happening on the field where somebody scores a goal and everybody goes crazy. Wow! Or when your favorite rock band is playing, then you also go, wow! So this is spontaneous. You don't have to force yourself to be attracted, because you are attracted spontaneously. Then also once there was a preaching program in, I think in Serbia, and there was one Maharaj also, ISKCON Maharaj, and there were some guests. Actually, there was a program, and after the program, there was some interaction with people. And then one beautiful girl, she somehow approached devotees after the program, and then many devotees automatically wanted to preach to her. They were very enthusiastic, like several of them, but not all of them could talk to her at once. So only one could speak to her. At once. But it was so spontaneous. It was like this. Like 4 or 5 people wanted to preach to her, but only one was able to preach. Unfortunately for other 4. And this devotee was actually, he came with Sachinanda Maharaj. I also will not mention his name. He was a little bit senior than others, and he was a guest, so I guess others, they just backed off. But they really wanted to preach to her. So you can ask yourself, what is my heart attracted to? What is my heart spontaneously attracted to? And here we see this spontaneous attraction. And in this verse, Mat Chitta Gata Prana, Bodhayantas Parasparam, Katayantas Chamam Nityam, Tushyanti Charamamcha. It's 10:9 in the Bhagavad Gita. It's one of the 4 main verses in Bhagavad Gita that I mentioned on Sunday. At the end, Srila Prabhupada says, as young boys are spontaneously attracted to young girls, so a devotee is attracted to hearing and chanting about Krishna. And now, probably you're not aware of this, that I will tell you. Maybe it will be new information for you, or maybe a shocking information. So, I don't know how I found this quote, what I was searching for, but I gave it a title to this section, or to this text, what can replace sex? So you may say, what kind of question is this? Nothing can replace sex. Because sex is unreplaceable. But Srila Prabhupada says that something can replace sex. So you tell me what it is. You guess.
Prasadam and sleeping.
What?
Prasad and sleeping.
No. This is not what Prabhupada said. Sleeping is not passionate. Sleeping is in tamas. Sex is passionate. So, yeah?
Love to Krishna.
Love to Krishna? No, which activity? Love to Krishna is a feeling. But which activity?
Kirtan.
Kirtan? Okay. More?
Cleaning the utensils.
Huh?
Cleaning the utensils.
Cleaning what?
Utensils.
Utensils.
Then you always you will be tired. You won't get any thoughts.
Loving exchange. Loving exchange, like with devotees, when they exchange like gifts and words and like that's very close.
Are you sure? It's not the same intensity. Now I'm arguing again.
So maybe to do it in a sport?
No. Prabhupada would not say that mundane sport would replace sex.
Dancing maybe dancing.
Dancing? Okay, so Prabhupada said chanting. Hearing and chanting about Krishna, he said he can replace this. So you become so satisfied, but what I'm talking about, it's not just intellectual satisfaction, it's full satisfaction, like on all levels. That means also sensual satisfaction. So you can have your body satisfied completely if you chant properly or intensely. And sometimes, you know, if you have a long kirtan, you forget about, just you feel that your senses are completely surcharged with transcendental energy. So I think if we would publish this as an article, what can replace sex, then publish it, and then people would laugh. They say, this cannot replace sex, come on, it's not the same thing. But actually, if you do it, if you do chanting properly, if you do it intensely, if you immerse yourself, then you can have physical experience, isn't it? I remember when I started chanting in '82, I used to walk around my city on the hills, and I used to chant whole day, because I didn't know that chanting means reciting. I was thinking that chanting japa means singing on every beat. So therefore my 16 rounds took me whole day. And I was singing and counting on the beats that devotees sent me from England, and singing and singing and singing. And in the evening, I look at the mirror and my eyes are shining like crazy. I'm not sure if this is me, but something very pleasant is happening in my body, in my mind, in my eyes. So I had this physical experience due to chanting. Because of chanting, I had a physical experience of pleasure, of some amazing feeling, a wonderful feeling. So actually, or also when you are completely defeated by the feast of the festival or something, sometimes devotees you see they are lying down on the floor and they cannot move. so their senses are completely overwhelmed with the overeating of transcendental food. So it's also physical experience, and they are lamenting for the next 3-4 hours because they cannot digest. At least I used to do that. So Krishna consciousness is actually multi-sensory experience. It's not only mental experience or intellectual experience, it's also physical experience. And you sometimes you are sweating, maybe in the kirtan. So you can also, you can be tired by washing pots, utensils, washing pots. Your senses can be tired of service, but you have a good feeling. You can have a good feeling. Once I got a very good feeling simply by bringing out huge bags of rubbish from the temple. Because there was like many bags of rubbish, not only one. And the rubbish bin was at the main street, and main street was like 200 meters from the temple. So you had to carry it. And I felt very blissful by taking out the garbage. It was also a physical experience. So maybe you can check it out, if this can replace, this sex desire, some kind of a immersion in chanting. And when there is Kirtan Mela or Japa retreat, devotees get immersed in the holy name, and they forget about sinful sense gratification. So this is a wonderful moment described here, the moment when somebody is spontaneously attracted. Like yesterday, there was a cake. So when the cake was mentioned by, what is the name of Mataji? No, the one who mentioned it was another one. Yes, maybe. So when she mentioned it, I felt that the molecules in the temple started to spin. The attention of devotees and the focus was very, very strong. And I think they were expecting something to appear, cake to appear. Maybe they were expecting one cake, but there was 2 cakes. So maybe that was a double attraction. So we all know that these moments when we are spontaneously attracted to some object of sense gratification. And here, Prithu Maharaj is spontaneously attracted to saintly personalities. We also may get attentive when the saintly personality appears, but maybe not so much due to spontaneous attraction, but due to fear, or maybe out of respect. Maybe not so much out of love, but maybe out of respect, or out of maybe sometimes out of fear. Get spontaneously attracted, spontaneously reacting, like getting up. And we see in the scriptures descriptions of a great person appearing, and then others who are there, or one of the main people who are in this assembly, they immediately get up, offer them a seat, offer them water, offer them, I don't know, whatever is a sign of respect. Garland, like this. So this question is so important. What your heart is attracted to. And what your heart is attracted to, your mind will be there. And externally you can do this and that and this and that, but your heart is attracted to something or to someone, spontaneously. You, maybe when you were younger, you fell in love with somebody, and it was spontaneous. You saw somebody and you said, wow, such a beautiful person, I would like to be with her or with him. And you think of them and you try to have a relationship with them, and it's all spontaneous. It just happened. Sometimes also due to karma it happens, because you know somebody from previous life, and immediately you click. Immediately you actually can communicate, or you're attracted to get to know each other, or to communicate, or to do something together, or to be together in a relationship. Due to the previous relationship, it happens. And now sometimes devotees are very romantic about it. And they think, oh, we were together in previous lives. That's so nice. But then in this life, also they get together, and after some time they get to fight. Because they were also fighting in past life. So now they have to complete their fight and finish their fight. Or stop fighting. But if they're Krishna conscious, they don't have to fight. They can have a good relationship and go back to Godhead. Maybe even together. So sometimes there is this spontaneous. Some people say, oh, I feel like I know you. And then they see they have things in common, or they're similar. So these things happen sometimes. And also regarding this spontaneous attraction, there is, in two places in the scriptures, there is verse, which is same or very similar verse, Yena tena prakarena mana Krishna niveshanet, and Tasmat kenapi upayena mana Krishna niveshanet. One is from the Bhagavatam, one is from the Bhakti Samrita Sindhu, or Nectar of Devotion. Yena tena prakarena mana Krishna niveshanet. In the beginning, what is important is this spontaneous attraction to Krishna consciousness, and not so much thousands of rules and regulations. So somebody is spontaneously attracted to kirtan, somebody is spontaneously attracted to reading books, somebody is spontaneously attracted to prasadam, somebody is spontaneously attracted to devotees, they look so shiny. And then we encourage them to practice what they are spontaneously attracted to practice this more, to increase their attraction. And we don't hit them with thousands of rules. This is Acharya is saying, this Rupa Goswami, that help people increase their Krishna consciousness by practicing this when they are already attracted to. And sometimes it's more than one thing. You can be attracted both to kirtan and prasadam, or both to reading and prasadam. Maybe in every combination prasadam is there, and then something else for most people. And some people, maybe they're on a diet, or they're vegan and they see we eat rich food, and then maybe they're not so attracted to prasada, but that's rare. That's very rare. Even they sometimes actually capitulate, or they also feel attracted to prasada. They forget about their diet because prasada is so attractive. So the devotees ask me, how can I read books and remain awake? Because when we read, because we do so much service, we have a tendency to fall asleep. We have individual reading, we have a tendency to fall asleep. So how can I read and not fall asleep? So I recommend that devotees read those sections that they already really like. The sections that really hit you when you read them, that really touched your heart. When you read those parts, like maybe whole chapter, maybe you have this experience that something that you have heard or read sticks in your mind or sticks in your heart. And you remember it. Wow, this was an amazing story. I remember when you heard the story of Haridas Thakur and the prostitute. I was thinking, I have never ever heard this in any tradition. This is so amazing. Amazing story, fascinating story. Or Vasudeva Datta and the Maharaj Rantidev had the same prayer. That they want to suffer so that others are relieved from suffering. They are ready to suffer for a long time so that others are relieved from suffering. This is fascinating. You never forget something like that. Yes?
I find the stories of Madhavendra Puri really fascinating.
Madhavendra Puri what?
I find the stories of Sri Madhavendra Puri very fascinating.
Yes. This is also, yeah. So, there is things that you spontaneously remember because they are so attractive. And then, what can you do? You read and you learn every detail of it. You learn every comment of Prabhupada about it, and you become immersed in something that you are already spontaneously attracted to. Another thing that you are spontaneously attracted to is certain melodies of Mahamantra. So you are more attracted to a melody. But because it's Mahamantra, it's easier for you to chant it. And you like to chant this melody. And what I do to purify my attachment to music, I take a melody I like and just put Mahamantra or something else, some other mantra to it, and then sing it. And usually devotees like it. And it purifies our attachment. Like some pop music, pop melody, you take it and try to fit in Mahamantra or some other Krishna conscious lyrics or text or Sanskrit mantra. And if you sing it, it sounds nice, but at the same time, it's becomes a spiritual song. What if you are spontaneously attracted to something that harms you? For example, you are spontaneously attracted to beer. In Germany, I heard that people like beer. And they have competition also. Who will drink more beer. And young people also. Like the famous German writer Goethe, he said that the brains of German youth are immersed in beer. Now today maybe they're not immersed in beer, they're immersed in drugs and heroin, which is even worse. So then what do you do? Then I heard that there is beer without alcohol. You heard about that? There is beer without alcohol.
Yeah, but it does not taste.
Also, we have Prabhupada was also always looking for alternatives. That what is the alternative for meat? You can prepare curd or your paneer prepare it that it has a taste like meat. Or, you know, devotees have these sausages from Czech Republic.
From soya, yeah.
Yes, and then, I mean, I think they're almost the same. And people sometimes don't even tell the difference. And once in Slovenia, one man came who really loves meat. He came to Govinda's restaurant and spoke to the manager, Vigendra Prabhu, and he asked, do you have govedina? Govedina means beef. And he said, no, we have govindina. We don't have govedina, we have govindina. And he said, well, it sounds the same. In Slovenian, govedo means actually a cow or a bull. Also, it starts with go. And then but the devotees made this, I think seitan or something. They made something which looks like meat and tastes like meat. And when this meat eater, who really likes meat, tasted it, he said, wow, this is so good. He liked it. So I'm now saying that how can we replace the spontaneous attraction to something that is not sinful? Because sinful thing will degrade you. Sinful thing will bring you suffering, but something that is bona fide will not degrade you, and you will still get the same or almost the same experience. I mean, sensual experience. So, you see, Prabhupada, one devotee wanted to play guitar for Krishna, and Prabhupada told him, forget about it, play harmonium and mridanga and karatals. And to another devotee, Prabhupada said, make hundreds of songs for Krishna and play guitar for Krishna. Different person, different, the same thing, but same attachment, but different instruction, how to purify it. So probably the first one was more ready to renounce the guitar, and the second one was not so ready to renounce the guitar, so his way of purification was to make hundreds of songs with the guitar. So these are some of the ways we can think of. And when you preach to people, don't hit them with rules and regulations, cleanliness, don't speak to the West and things like that. Don't sleep to the West. But just see what they are spontaneously attracted to and encourage them to actually practice this. Now, if a lusty man comes to the temple, he may say, oh, I'm spontaneously attracted to these angelic girls that are here, these beautiful girls. So can I talk to them or something? No. So this kind of, we cannot encourage and approve this kind of. Or girls are attracted to these, shiny boys, devotees. And so this we have to be careful about spontaneous attraction. But for other things, if they're attracted to prasadam, if they're attracted to music, if they're attracted to certain stories, if they're attracted to the deities, like people really like if you give them something from the altar, some piece of maha, some piece of clothes, something, or they see that, oh, God is directly sending me something. So you can do that. Or whatever you can help them grow their attraction to, you can do that. You can do that, and also for yourself. What are you attracted to? And I like to say stories that are my favorite. I like to say songs that are my favorite. And sometimes when I may be down or feel bad, I take this and then I get inspired again. So we have to take responsibility for being inspired, and therefore we should always have ready things that inspire us. On my desktop, on my laptop, I always have at least 5 things or 5 folders full of things that inspire me like this immediately. So therefore I never get depressed and I never get discouraged. And I I never lose enthusiasm because I consciously always seek inspiration, and there is so much to be inspired with in Krishna consciousness. So thank you very much for listening. Do you have any questions?
So maybe you can give for some examples what inspires you. So, some music or something like that.
Well, new devotees like you inspire me. You are so enthusiastic. You are, so that's one. I'm inspired. I'm inspired by some stories. For example, I'm inspired by Pitu Maharaj because he was a saintly king. And to me, to be a saintly king means to be a first-class leader. And to be a first-class leader, you have to have both Brahminical and Kshatriya qualities. So basically, you become a representative of God, you become an instrument in God's hands, you become protector of the people, you become like a father to people. This I like very much. This kind of high character and a person who is ready to sacrifice for others, this attracts me very much as an example for what I would like to become. Then, for example, we listen to kirtan, to so many kirtans, but some kirtan touches us more than other, isn't it? Like we're attracted. Sometimes we cry because we hear a certain kirtan. So, for example, the kirtan that I liked is by Krishna Kshetra Maharaj. He has some kirtans that really touched me. There are certain stories, like story of Haridas Thakur, story of Bilva Mangala Thakur. Sometimes my inspiration for Krishna consciousness is not in the Vedas or in Prabhupada's teachings or in ISKCON, but it comes from some others. Like, for example, there was this his name is Felipe Neri, or Philip Neri, and he was a Christian. I think he was later proclaimed to be a saint. So there is a movie about him. I saw a movie about him. Somebody recommended me. He was a very saintly person, a preacher, and he was not liked by the bishops. He was not liked by the authorities in his time. But he was very close to the congregation, and he was very, very helpful for the congregation, and he was supportive, and they helped him build a church. And so once, because people were envious of him, they were following him where he was walking, and he went to a brothel. Brothel is a prostitute house. And they thought, now we got him, now we caught him, now we will see that he is bogus preacher. And he entered a room with girls, and they tried to listen. What is he talking? What's happening? Maybe they expected to hear some sounds of sense gratification. But they couldn't hear very much. They heard some talking, but they couldn't hear very much. And they, how you say, bursted inside. They like forcefully came in the room, and they saw an amazing scene. 4 or 5 girls were sitting like this, and he was preaching to them from the Bible. He was preaching to them from the Bible. Then Francis of Assisi also is an amazing example of preacher and a spiritual person. Um, and another story, which is not from the Vedas that inspires me, is a true story of a couple, a husband and wife, who had two daughters who were normal and a son who was autistic. You know autism? Autism. So that autism means you cannot communicate, you don't communicate. And you know, the parents brought this boy, their son, to so many doctors, and doctors said he's hopeless case. He cannot be cured. It's too heavy case. But they somehow believed, I don't know if they believed in God, but they believed that he can be cured. And they tried to communicate with him and the sisters also. So what boy would do whole day? He would do like this. Whole day. Always like this. When he is awake, he does like this. So they tried so many things to draw his attention. They weigh food in front of him. Sometimes he notices food when he's hungry. So they tried so many things, but nothing worked. And then one day, his mother got an idea that she should start also doing this. So after some time, he started noticing that she's doing it. He was thinking, why is she's doing this? And then slowly he started to look at her, because he wouldn't look at anybody. And slowly, actually, he started to talk to her. And can you imagine how happy she was, and the husband also, how happy they were. So slowly, actually, he became normal by the love of his mother. The story is called Miracle of Love. Then after some time, he slipped back again to autism, and then he recovered again. And then it was for good. It was to the end of it. And now this boy is a director of the Autism Institute. So he is normal. And on the internet you can see there is a whole movie about this. So when I hear such stories, when they spend 9,700 hours, trying to help him recover, become normal, or shaking like this, pacing back and forth, just to get him to communicate and to get him back to normal. So this such story of love is, and in the Shastras also there are stories of love that are very inspiring. Then I'm inspired by amazing prasadam. And I told Keshav Prabhu that here prasadam is amazing. I mean, I visit so many temples. And prasadam is good, but here is excellent. The first day when I came, I asked who cooked this, because every preparation was amazing. And so I was told who cooked this prasadam 2 days ago, I think. So I was very appreciative of this. I don't know, I'm still on the level of the tongue after 37 years. So I get inspired with the tasty prasadam. And also I kind of try to choose healthy prasadam. Then, and one of the things I'm most inspired is the courage of devotees to preach. There are so many Sankirtan stories. Devotees risk their lives. People sometimes torture them. They threaten them, but they continue. They are not afraid. Like, I mean, in some countries they can kill you if you come back to the same place. So one devotee that inspires me from He went to a dangerous Muslim country, Istanbul, Turkey. And how does he do Sankirtan? 15 minutes one place, 15 minutes another part of the city, 15 minutes. Because in this way, police cannot catch him. But if they catch him, they will arrest him. It's so risky. And he is like a person, he used to be a drug dealer. So he's not afraid of police, he's not afraid of anybody. So he uses his previous sinful experience to distribute Prabhupada books. And he's very bold. Now he is in China, which is also a little bit risky. And he got married to a Chinese mother. So, I mean, he's really bold. He goes to very dangerous places and distributes books, Prabhupada's books. So to risk your life for someone, that's a symptom of love. So for me, what is inspiring, when somebody is ready to sacrifice for love, to, I think this is the most inspiring thing for me, to sacrifice your personal interest and personal comfort so that the person you love can be protected and happy. Or Krishna, so that Krishna is pleased. Krishna is protected, he is happy, but that he is pleased, that we are ready to risk and to sacrifice. So this is most inspiring to me. And thank you so much for this question. This is a wonderful question. What inspires you the most? Any other question? Thank you, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. And share.